The Jackson County Sheriff's Office says it's seeing a significant increase in applications, all of it related to concealed handgun licenses. The Sheriff's Office says before the passing of Measure 114, the turnaround time for a CHL permit was about a week. Now it's a month. And we want to get back to this breaking news. Crews are still on scene of a large fire in Medford. Medford Fire saying it is working a 3-alarm fuel fire at Boyd in South Central. We do have crews on scene right now, and this is a live look at the scene. Barnett and 13th Street are closed down and the building is fully engulfed, and we are hearing from crews on scene that the fire has spread to a nearby railroad track. There is still heavy smoke and flames visible in that area. You can see it right there on your screen. Authorities say to avoid this area as crews work to get this fire under control. Stay with NBC5 for the latest information on this fire. Medford police are leading the investigation into what started a large fire near downtown Medford late last night. Good evening and thank you for choosing NBC5 News at 6. I'm Shellye Leggett. You saw the breaking news here on NBC5 News at 11 last night. The fire happening in an industrial area just south of downtown could be seen for miles. The Josephine County Republican Party hosted a debate for county commissioner and sheriff candidates last night. Organizers say the main purpose of the debate was to inform voters about the candidates and what they plan to do for the county if elected. Jackson County law enforcement sharing the results from a pedestrian safety operation last week in Medford. Well, now we want to switch gears and get a check of your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Matt Jordan. So on the way over here, I had to crank my air conditioning all the way up. It was so hot.
Yeah, extremely hot.
A second major windstorm causing major cleanup in the region. Good evening and thank you for choosing NBC5 News at 6. I'm Shellye Leggett. Derek Strom will join you in about a half an hour. Cleanup efforts are underway after winds sweep through the valley yesterday. NBC5's Ethan McReynolds has the latest on the impact of the storm. Mount Ashland is now open after a delayed start this morning. Crews had to work through 8 inches of new snow that fell overnight. This Thanksgiving, many are dealing with food insecurity in southern Oregon. The demand for food banks in Jackson County has surged. Fox 26's Jenna King spoke with some organizations about what they're seeing this holiday season. Someone has been arrested after a well-known church burned down in Portland. More than 80 firefighters responded to the fire at the Portland Korean Church Tuesday evening. The 3-story building was built in 1905. Officials say it's been closed and vacant for years. 28-year-old Cameron David Storer was arrested Wednesday night. He's facing multiple arson-related charges. The suspect in a weekend shooting in Rouge faced a judge for the first time today. 74-year-old Cassie Riker is charged with attempted murder in the 2nd degree and other charges. Emergency SNAP benefits will continue for recipients in December. About 400,000 SNAP households will get about $70 million in extra benefits. The Oregon Ducks came out on top in tonight's Holiday Bowl. Oregon trailed for most of the game against the North Carolina Tar Heels, thanks to a great performance from North Carolina quarterback Drake May. But late in the 4th quarter, Bo Nix led the Ducks down the field and capped it off with a game-winning touchdown pass to South Medford graduate Chase Cota. Final score, Ducks 28, Tar Heels 27. The Federal Trade Commission is issuing a warning about scammers possibly using the recent news about student loan forgiveness as bait. Here's some tips from the Better Business Bureau on how to protect yourself. Unsolicited calls, texts, emails, and fraudulent websites. It's how scammers will likely use the latest news about student loan forgiveness to bait new victims.
Scammers will promise fast forgiveness, whether it is additional benefits, faster benefits, erasing your student debt. All of those are empty promises that will lead to an empty pocketbook.
The Better Business Bureau is bracing for a spike in calls and reports after the Federal Trade Commission issued a consumer alert about potential scams involving student loans. Last Wednesday, President Joe Biden announced a plan to address student loan debt, including debt forgiveness for certain borrowers. The BBB says scammers may use the news to attempt to defraud borrowers looking for eligible information.
Important to know that the government is not allowed to call you about your student loan unless you've given permission.
The Better Business Bureau has these tips to protect yourself. First, Understand that these government programs are free to sign up for, and that anyone offering you help for a fee is a red flag. Number 2, know the ins and outs of your student loan. Know the terms and don't fall for it if a scammer promises you benefits the government or your loan provider hasn't already offered you. Number 3, do your research. Look up the lender or company reaching out to you to find out if there's a scam artist on the other end of the line. Number 4, look twice before you click. The BBB says some imposters often create look-alike government websites, so pay attention to the URL. And finally, protect your personal data. Do not give out your social security number, federal student aid ID, or any other personal information. Anna Cole's son, Eric, is a sergeant in the Army, deployed in Afghanistan.
He told me that most of his soldiers don't get any mail at all. They might get some, but not a lot.
Cole got a group of women together from her church to change that. They packed snacks and goodies in 39 homemade pillowcases and shipped them in 11 boxes, costing nearly $700.
You got a tuna pack. You got a football. Got some ramen noodles.
But they never made it to the troops.
They're on their way. It says they'll be there in the next 2 or 3 days. And then they showed up on my front porch this morning.
The label says there were weapons in these boxes, and they're referring to toy Nerf guns.
When I got them back, it says they are weapons. A Nerf gun's a weapon? Seriously?
The Postal Service says every country has different policies for what you can and cannot send, and the toy guns raised a red flag. Cole says she plans on removing the toys and resending the boxes.
This is about them. It's not about us. It's not about anything stupid. It's just something simple for them.